joy of it all. After probably at least 5 months, we are back running. And running better than ever, because now we actually have working auto steer. And hasn't that made life a million times easier? Made it a hell of a lot more accurate chemical wise as well. Now there is no overlaps, there is no little skip, miss runs. It even will do to coverage mapping, steer to coverage mapping. Though as you get a bit tighter on the pivot, it does get a bit more notchy, but it's alive! It's alive! Well, it kind of grew. Got these gearboxes out. That one needed a new seal on the bottom, so it's done. Filled up with oil, sitting there to see whether it'll leak. This was an absolute fucking nightmare. Trying to get those 4 bolts there out, one of which is still attached to a socket, because I literally had to belt it in there. 3 different sockets to get the 4 bolts out. Basically that bottom gearbox, which isn't here at the moment because it's having a little holiday, attaches to the bottom of that. That top gearbox sits on there, but there is borderline room to get a socket extension down there to try to get to those bolts, which are down in there hidden behind it. So you can imagine that thing is sitting there and you've got to try and get down past it. Got the back 2 out. This first one just wanted to spin on the top of it, so hence it ended up with a 2 socket size down belted on. And thank Christ it actually came out, because I don't know what I would have done otherwise. And thank Christ it came out as well, because that gearbox was a little bit, just a touch on the sad side. Pretty sure it's not that, so it was in the gearbox. When I pulled it out, no oil in it, or very little oil. Bearings felt fine, but it obviously had a bit of a noise in it. At some point, there was a heap of backlash in it, so since I had it out, I decided that I would pull it down. At the moment, all that's left sitting here is the pulley, because I took it into Adamant Riverina Machining yesterday, so that after I picked up all the parts and the shim kits, because all it had was 3 shims, a top shim, a bottom shim, and a side shim for the crown wheel, whereas the shim kits come with about enough shims of 1/15 of a millimetre to shim about 20 gearboxes. So as a consequence, I had got the pass-through shaft out and the little gear off, but I kind of figured if I'm going that far it needed seals anyway, so chuck new bearings in it, then it's done. So that went yesterday, but whilst doing the other gearboxes, because I'd already done that one over there, thought, well, I'll drop the bottom one out, which is a bit of a pain in the bloody ass to get out. You've got to literally pull the entire pull apart to get the gearbox out. I kind of discovered that where I thought I didn't have any play, in the front of the tongue, there was enough wear to justify, since it was all coming out anyway. New bushes, and it has damaged the main trunnion pin that goes through there slightly, because it has grease channels on it. Wasn't badly worn, but it's also gone to Riverina Machining, because even if it was critically endangered and not repairable, there is none of those bottom sections in existence in the world. Nil stock. Zero fucking stock there. None available anywhere. So Adam reckons it should be easily built up, so he's going to build it up and turn it down. But had to die grind the side to help extract these ones. That's not overly super worn there, but it is worn on the back, whereas this one, I think it was this one, it's quite substantially worn on one side. One of them was anyway. That's probably that one where I did die grind it. That's gone through the brass or bronze, whatever it is, and was down into the metal, and as a consequence it had worn the pin in the same spot. So we turned down another one. This is actually the second one, because I went too far with the first one, since I don't have a pair of verniers wide enough to determine the diameter. You just had to go by feel and use the bush that went in. But by the time I used the bush on the first one, I had already gone too far, so just turned down a second one. Was a little bit worried getting this bottom bush back in, that I should have done it before I put the tongue back on, because then I could have turned it upside down if I needed to bash it in, knowing how hard it was getting the ones in the centre back on. But that one went in relatively easily. A reasonable amount of bashing, but nowhere near as bad as what I thought it would be. I guess the bigger they are, the easier they are to actually get back in. So the top one is currently in at Riverina Machining as well, so that they make sure when they turn down the pin that, pardon me, that they don't turn it down too far or not make it big enough. So I'll pick that up. Hopefully, I'm kind of hoping, well, it doesn't really matter. 6 of one, half dozen the other. It's either they have that bit done by Friday, hopefully, and I can put all this back together, or they have the gearbox done by Friday, in which case I can put all that back together. There's a reasonable amount in that too. So once that is done and that is done, then it is pretty much only just change the oil in the cutter bar, and it is pretty much done. So that will be the saga of that one. I do have a seal for the other mower as well, just in case, but one thing at a time. We'll get this one knocked over first.